to reach the milestone event that they're reaching tonight. At first I thought to myself, this is going to be really easy, but the more I thought about it, there are a lot of things I want to say about the journey in scouting, and I realized that it's just not easy to really share what we've experienced over the last 4 years and what they have ahead of them. To start, I want to express that being a den leader is both very challenging, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Words can't say how rewarding it really is. Watching these boys grow and blossom into young men has been a real joy. At first, I did everything I could to keep them from running in circles, and now they can actually stand still. It's amazing. See, scouting teaches young boys to become good citizens. It begins a process of training them to become future leaders. The Scout Oath and Law guides scouts on their journey through life.
Scouts are trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Teaching scouts to live by these words in every part of their daily lives is how scouting develops good citizens and great leaders. Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of scouting, said scouting is a game with a purpose. It truly is. Scouting provides opportunities for boys they would probably never get. Canoeing, hiking, cooking, camping, rock climbing, many, many, many more. Each time a scout says the Scout Oath, he promises in part to keep himself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Everyone goes, everyone works together. Older scouts teach while younger scouts learn, until they are older scouts and then you become the leaders. Everyone has something to contribute. All along the way, the work, the learning, and the fun are put together into two main awards that scouts earn. The Arrow of Light is the highest ranking award in Cub Scouting. Tonight, these 5 boys will achieve that award. The Eagle Scout rank is the highest award in Boy Scouts, and hopefully these young men will achieve that award sometime in the future. Boys that have taken the time and had the perseverance to have the privilege of wearing these patches show everyone that they're ready to become a useful part of society. Here's some interesting facts about scouting. 26 of the 29 first astronauts to go into space were scouts. Of the 12 men to walk on the moon's surface, 11 were involved in scouting. Gerald Ford, one of our presidents, was an Eagle Scout. Steven Spielberg, everybody knows him, right? Makes movies. He was an Eagle Scout. Hank Aaron, great baseball player. Walter Cronkite, a news anchor. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones. Bill Gates, Microsoft. John F. Kennedy was a president. And John Ritter was a great actor. They were all scouts. Of any 100 boys who become scouts, and by the way, some of this I borrowed from an Eagle Scout who did his presentation, so I want to give credit where it's due. So of any 100 boys who become scouts, 30 will drop out in their first year. Perhaps this may be regarded as a failure, but later in life, these scouts will remember the time that they spent in scouting, and they will have fond memories of it. Only rarely will a scout ever appear before a juvenile court judge. 12 of the 100 will be from families who belong to no church, but through scouting, they will become part of a church. Approximately 1/2 of all scouts will serve in the military and in varying degrees profit from their scout training. At least one will use what they've learned in scouts to save somebody's life, and countless others will use what they learned to save their own. 4 will reach the Eagle rank. 4 out of 100. 5 out of 100 is what we were told the other day, so that's been updated. But only 5 out of 100 will reach the Eagle rank. At least one will later say that he valued his Eagle rank over his college degree. 17 of the 100 boys will later become scout leaders and give leadership to thousands of additional boys. I'm one of those. Only 1 in 4 boys in America will become a scout, but it's interesting to note that of the leaders in this nation in business, in religion, and politics, 3 out of 4 were scouts. Thank you for being part of the scouting family, for supporting our boys and supporting PAC 305. It's been a true pleasure to serve, and I personally hope to see all of you again when you cross over Boy Scouts. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Dan O'Donnell. I am an assistant scoutmaster in Troop 300. I I used to be Cub Master of Pack 305, and I have facilitated these proceedings previously, so I was asked to come back and do this again tonight, which is an honor. We also, so in attendance tonight, we have Troop 300 as well as Troop 60, who will be taking these boys on into their troops as Boy Scouts, so you'll see them as a part of the proceedings tonight. So as our Webelow Den gets ready with their blindfolds in this corner over here, so you guys go ahead and start doing that. I want to talk to our scouts a little bit. So I'd like for the lions and the tigers to come sit right over here on the ground for me. Get you guys a little bit closer so you can see things. All right? So I want to ask you guys some questions before we get started and while these guys get their blindfolds on. Do you know who is in charge of a Boy Scout troop? You guys know? Sure, either one of you guys. The Cub Master. So there's a, in scouting, in Boy Scouts, the Scoutmaster is one of the leaders that has a role in the troop. But actually, the Scoutmaster is not in charge of the Boy Scout troop. The SPL. What does SPL stand for? Senior Patrol Leader. So you guys, when you become Boy Scouts, will all have an opportunity to be in a position of leadership, where you get to make the decisions about what the troop does, where the troop goes, and how you want to lead it. You'll be in charge of everything. And the job of the adults and the job of the Scoutmaster is to make sure that you don't walk off a cliff. What do you go on next? You have a question?
My brother's in SPL.
Your brother's in SPL? That's excellent. So, you guys heard some information about Boy Scouts, and there are, so you Tigers, or you Lion Scouts over here, there are about 1% or less of Scouts that get all the way to Eagle who start out where you guys are. And by the time you guys get to where these guys are, on their Arrow of Light, you will have spent about half of your life in scouting, if you stick it out, and it's well worth it. So as you watch these guys get ready tonight, you should be thinking about how much work they've put in. They've spent now, several of them, 5 years, 4 or 5 years going through scouting and getting to the point where they are going to receive the Arrow of Light. And the Arrow of Light is the only Cub Scouting award that can be worn on the Boy Scout uniform. And even as an adult, when you move out of scouting, you can wear a knot on your uniform that signifies that you are an Arrow of Light holder. So you, if you get there to Arrow of Light, as these guys have tonight, you guys will have a distinction that very few people have. So pay attention, okay? All right, can you get the lights for me? So I'm going to ask that our Webelow Den leader, because he has led them on this journey to this point, that Brent will guide them over to their parents. So go ahead, Brent, and take them to the corner. From that point, once Brent gets them to the corner, I'll ask that parents that you put the Scout's right hand on your own shoulder and you guide them here to the front.
Hey, Mom, did you run the iPad? Okay. You have to move it.
As Brent leads them, I'm going to ask that we light the Spirit of Scouting candle. parents, just guide your scout here to the front. So you Webelos, think about your parents guiding you here. You did not get here by yourself, right? You've been guided to this point by your den leader and by your parents as they've helped you on this journey. As you get up here, you can remove the blindfold. And you can stand behind your scout, parents. Let's get our scouts lined up here, and so everyone side by
Same order, guys. Same order, please.
yeah. So here, why don't you stand over here, Riley? You stand right here. Nick, you stand right here next to him, and parents can stand right behind their scout. All right, we have everybody up here. All right, welcome, guys. As a Cub Scout, you have been guided through the Cub Scout trail with the help of many Aquilas. Soon, when you become a Boy Scout, you will find that while there are still many people willing to help, you take more and more responsibility for blazing your own trail to Eagle. I will ask, who wants to award? Does anyone? Brent, would you like to award the Webelos badge to after you get your camera set?
Yeah.
So just the Webelo badge at this point. We want to award that to Nicholas. So Nicholas is receiving his Webelo badge. All right, good. Riley Knight, Nicholas Paulson, Thomas Lacey, Evan Seabot, Jonathan Estes, you have been called before the pack because you have satisfied the requirements for Cub Scouting's highest rank, Arrow of Light. Blue represents the spirit of Cub Scouting, the spirit of giving goodwill and doing your best. Now I'm going to ask you a question, guys. Do you promise to fulfill the Scout Oath and the Cub Scout motto, do your best, when you receive the Arrow of Light badge? Excellent. Are you handing those out? Do you want to? Oh, okay. For those that can't see, the Scouts are also pinning a parent pin on other parents, again, because they didn't get here alone. And by the way, they have these parent pins available all the way up to Eagle.